Hello everybody. Now lecture series number 15. We'll further discuss about venture capitals and other areas, crowdfunding. This is a new trend in our e-commerce days. Okay. Now, what do venture capitalists look for? Well, in Pakistan, how much venture capitalist is available, we don't know. But somewhere advanced countries, maybe these venture capitalists sometimes available, especially in the United States. There are lots of intangible factors. Well, there are tangible factors. Well, that is easily understood. But intangible factors, we have to feel it. And if you are venture capitalist, then what aspects do you see? Competent management? Well, I don't know how much you know about the competency. Competency theory was 1990s. It was very popular. Well, it's a popular business ideas. Competency is consisting of, we call it SKA, S-K-A, skill, knowledge, ability. Okay. Skill, knowledge, not ability, attitude, SKA. So competency is not simply relates to the abilities, relates to the skill, knowledge, and attitude. That is the person's behavior pattern. Well, skill and knowledge, well, it's about mostly 10% or something. You can guess, but the person's character and attitude is 80% or 90% of this competency. It's very difficult to feel it. Okay. So competent management relates to the person's capacity to get things done. To get things done, only knowledge and skill is not enough. That is more related to his personal character, attitude, behavior pattern. These are the more important, very difficult to assess. So competent management is more deeper sense. Okay. And also from this competent management there are competitive edge. Well, this competent management, there are competitive edge comes from. The competitive edge is always coming from this competent management. And also venture capitalists, they have to feel the person or industries which venture capitalists try to invest, that industry is a growth industry or not. This is more important. You have to analyze macroeconomics, microeconomics of the industries. That industry is a growing or not. So that is a point they have to check. And finally, well, this is a rather contradictory, but you maybe have to understand. You also have to be if you are a venture capitalist, you have to check what is viable exit strategy. In a certain point, if you invest in a certain industry, certain company as a venture capitalist, some points you have to withdraw your investment, which means before accumulating the huge loss, you have to be less loss, and then going out from the industry. Viable exit strategy. You have to withdraw from the investments. So viable exit strategy. To what point you have to withdraw your investments? That's from the very beginning. You have to think about it. Okay, these 5 points. You have to look in tangible factors. Okay, competent managements, competitive edge, growth potential of the industry, and finally viable exit strategy. These 5 points you have to check. Okay, so therefore, if you are looking venture capitalist, if you start some things in the United States or so, they are looking these aspects. Now, this is the rather current trends. A new form of fundings started about 2009, 2010 in the United States. Crowdfundings. Well, there are anonymous peoples. Well, some of them are angels or crowdfundings. We are living in a e-commerce days. E-commerce is everywhere available. Okay, brings together people with business ideas and people with money. Well, there are lots of people who has small amount of the money but wants to invest or enjoy some of the risky monies. These are crowdfundings. This model looks like eBay, where buyers and sellers can interact with each other under set rules and regulations. Well, this crowdfunding was relatively new ideas. When my generations, I've never had any experience of this field. Well, maybe in your lifetime you may come across these ones. Even crowdfundings may be available in future in Pakistan. Okay. Well, this is it. And crowdfunding is, there are 3 kinds. Debt crowdfundings is nothing different from the loans. Investors receive their money back with interest. Okay, I have small amount of the money, but if I go and deposit it in the bank savings interest is very low. Why not invest for some industries, and then they will pay more interest? So debt financing by crowdfundings. Okay, and also there are equity crowdfunding, which means a risk money. Equity is, well, if company fails and then you cannot recover it, the money. Only when some remaining amount after company paid all liabilities and the workers' salaries and everything, and leftover will be paid to the equity holders. So equity is a risk money. So if you invest to the equity crowdfunding, you will take more risk, but you can enjoy the investment. You can enjoy certain dividends. Okay. Money is exchanged for a share or a small stake in the business, project or venture. Equity crowdfunding, if the company goes into IPO, first initial public offerings, then you will enjoy big, huge profits. Okay. And the other ones is a donation or reward crowdfundings. People invest simply because they believe in the cause. Okay. Rewards can be offered, often called reward crowdfunding, such as acknowledgements on an album cover, tickets to an event, etc. Well, you agree with the cause of that companies. I'm not expecting certain money terms reward. Well, rather acknowledgements. My photographs, my pictures appears in the companies, and then that is enough. Well, donation, reward, crowdfundings. So these three kinds of the character of the crowdfundings. Especially donation reward is a non-profit organization or non-governmental organizations. They are doing like this, crowdfunding, donation and reward. Now, many main financial highlights. There are business cycles, forecast profit and loss accounts, forecast cash flows, balance sheets, and funding requirements, startup costs. All these things you have to think about, the financial highlights. That's closely related. Whatever your idea is good, but in a bad timing for investment, a business cycle is a bad time, then you may lose. So therefore, you have to have a good forecast for the business cycle. Okay. Forecast profit and loss accounts. Forecast cash flows and also balance sheets. That we'll further discuss in this course. Okay. Thank you. Today's lecture I'll finish it.